Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at running Batocera on a LattePanda. More than that, we're also going to play some games from some different emulators, some N64, some GameCube, that sort of thing. We'll talk about the experience of each of those games on those different systems while we're using Batocera on the LattePanda. In this video, we're not actually going to install Batocera. We may do that in a future video, but we're just going to run this kind of like a live USB on the LattePanda. So with all that being said, I also want to thank DF Robot for sending over the LattePanda a while back. They sent this over so I could make some videos. I made one, that was the unboxing video. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I will link that in the description as well. So with all of that being said, let's jump over to my desktop where we will put Batocera on a USB drive, get it set up on the LattePanda, and then play some games. Okay guys, this is the easy part. In fact, this whole thing is super easy, so we're just going to fly through this about as quickly as we possibly can. First thing you got to do is go to batocera.org, click the Batocera, or the link that says Get Batocera. Go find the appropriate version for what you're going to be doing. In this case, we're going to be using the x86_64 version. I've already downloaded this, so I don't need to do this right now, but just click this, it'll download to your computer. While it's downloading to your computer, head over to balena.io/etcher. I will have links for both of these in the description down below. From here, you're going to want to go ahead and download this for Windows or whatever operating system you're on. Chances are, though, you're going to be on Windows. So go ahead and click the download button there. Okay, so once you've got both of those files, you can open up Etcher just by double-clicking it there on your desktop. Drag that up to the screen there. We're going to go ahead and select that image. That image is going to be the one on my desktop. Oops, on my desktop there. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Then we're going to change the target to be the USB drive that I just plugged in. We'll press continue, and then we'll press flash. Go ahead and say yes when it asks if you're sure you want to do that. Give this a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so let's say you run into a situation where Etcher, just for whatever reason, will not process or will not copy that Batocera img.gz file. The next thing that you'll want to do then is actually extract that file. So what we can do then, again, go back to Etcher, open it up, go to where you've extracted that file. It's going to be right here for me. So then you've got this Batocera with the version number and the date on it. .img, there will be no GZ on that, and it will be considerably larger. The GZ file, at least in my situation here, is about 1 gigabyte, whereas once it's extracted, it's about 3 gigabytes. So go ahead and open that. Again, select your target, that USB drive we just plugged in, click continue, click flash. Click yes on are you sure you want to do that. Again, give this just a few minutes to run through everything, and once this is complete, then we can move on to that next step. Okay, so once you've got your USB drive ready, you can go and get your LattePanda out, plug the USB drive in, plug in your controller adapter, an HDMI cable into your display. An Ethernet cable is really helpful here as well, and go ahead and plug in your power supply. So one other thing you might want to consider here is plugging in a keyboard just for the first boot, because we're going to have to change the boot order most likely to tell it to boot from this USB drive first. Otherwise, it will just boot from the internal storage. So go ahead and plug in your external keyboard there, and then once you've got that, go ahead and power on the LattePanda. So in order to get to this screen, once you've powered on the LattePanda, you're going to just start tapping either delete or escape. I tapped them kind of alternately to get into here, but then what you'll want to do is actually go over here to where it says boot, go down to boot option 1, and select your USB device. Once you've got that, go ahead and go over and click save and exit. Say yes, you want to save that configuration. And now at this point, you can unplug your keyboard if you'd like to. Okay, so here we are on the Batocera desktop, if you want to call it that. So it's got a few systems in here with a couple of games in there already, like Commodore 64's got one, Game Boy Advance has got them, Mega Drive's got one or two. And there's some, like Doom was already on here, PS2, I added, Super Nintendo was already in there. I dig this, they've got an all games in here now that they didn't used to have, so you can just kind of scroll through and find whatever game you'd like, rather than going through each individual system, so I like that they've done that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some games here. Okay, so the first game we're going to take a look at here is Mortal Kombat 3, or actually Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Mega Drive, and I can say that it actually runs really, really well. There's no hiccups, no stuttering, no lagging, no nothing. Everything runs just like you would expect it to back on the Mega Drive, which seems about right since I play as well now as I did when I was about 12 when this came out. Okay, so the next game we're going to take a look at here is Sonic 3D Blast, also on Mega Drive. This is actually the first time I've ever played this game, so I just spent some time kind of running around checking things out. There was no perceptible lag or input issues or anything like that. Everything ran really, really well, and it looks great, it feels great. No issues whatsoever with this one. Okay, so now we'll take a look at Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on N64. I used to play this a lot on the PS2, though you can't tell it by how I'm playing here. Also, no music in this one. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but this one ran really well. No lag, no stutters, no nothing. Everything worked really well here. This played just like I remember it playing back even on the PS2. So great option if you want to play this one as well. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube, and this is where things really start to fall apart. The stutter is bad, the lag is bad, you can see the screen flickering. Sometimes it gets better, and most of the time it doesn't. GameCube games are just too much for Batocera on the live USB onto the LattePanda, so I may try to install this actually on the local storage on the LattePanda and see if we get better results. But as it currently stands, this is basically unplayable.
Graceful sword dance. Don't worry, Tyler. Battle 1. Fight.
Okay, so we're going to stick with GameCube for just a minute. We're going to take a look at Mario Kart Double Dash. And if you heard that Nintendo intro, it was garbage. You can see how laggy this is. It stutters. It will not play at all, basically. It's super hard to do anything with how stuttery and laggy this is. So again, I may try this in a different way as far as the installation method is concerned, but as it currently stands, GameCube games are just not worth the effort. Okay guys, so there you go. There is Batocera running as a live USB on a LattePanda, and overall it went really well, I would say, other than GameCube. GameCube just kind of fell off, but I think that's to be kind of expected. So I may do this again, maybe not another video or not another full video like this, but I may do some more experimenting with actually installing Batocera instead of running it as a live USB to see if that gives us any kind of performance enhancement there. So if that works out, then I'll make another video. If not, I'll just make a little community post or something like that. So if you want to see those community posts, definitely get subscribed so you can be notified when I do release those. I release them kind of sporadically, but I've been trying to be better about community posts as well as doing videos regularly as well. So with all that said, again, I want to give a big shout out to DF Robot for sending over the LattePanda. If you want to get one of these for, the unlimited number of uses you could come up with to use a LattePanda, I will have a link over to DF Robot's website where you can pick one of these up. So again, I think that's going to wrap everything up here. So as always, thanks for your time. I always appreciate your support, and I'll talk to you in the next video.